Hey, how are you? This is Michael Williams, founder of the Start Speaking Training Center, and welcome back to 21 Steps to Start Speaking More Smoothly and Confidently. This is step 5. We're going to be looking at step 5. In fact, this is the last step in the foundation of this entire program. Remember, I said that it was very important that you build a strong foundation. Therefore, it's very important that you watch in their entirety all of the other videos. Why? Well, if you don't build a strong foundation, and when you're building anything, then it's more likely that the structure that you are building is going to fall as soon as there's something that pushes up against it, as soon as there's some kind of a stress or stressor on that structure. And in this case, stressors can be your schedule, it can be anxiety, it can be fear, it can be a lot of different things that can press up against the structure that you're building. And the structure that we're talking about is you developing this new skill, if you will, of speaking smoothly and confidently. So without this foundation, what happens is many people, they give up, or they say, oh, this is not going to work, or they don't have a clear understanding or the purpose that they need to stick in there and to stick with it and do the things necessary to develop the foundation to become a smooth, fluent, and confident speaker. So that's what we're doing now, is we're building a foundation, but this is the last video of that. In the next series of videos, I'm going to be giving you some very specific techniques. Now, these techniques may be counterintuitive. That is, you may be looking for something that's what I consider more of a tactic, or something that's more short term, like breathing, or how do I pronounce these particular words. And the things that I'm going to be sharing with you, while they are techniques, they're not those kind of techniques. So someone says, well then, what kind of techniques are they? They're not relevant. They're not going to help me become a better speaker in everyday conversations, as well as presenting, as well as interviews, and so forth and so on. The truth is that the strategies and the techniques and things that I'm going to be sharing with you will help you do exactly that. It's going to help you become a better conversationalist, a better presenter, a better interviewer, a better salesperson. But you have to hang in there with me and understand why. You have to understand kind of the philosophy of this whole thing. And I'll be sharing that with you as we proceed through the program. Okay, so let's jump right to it. Step 5 is to understand that you have a current belief about who you are as a speaker and about how you speak. Also, step 5 involves knowing that you can take the necessary steps to change that belief. So, step 5 involves understanding that you have a current belief about who you are as a speaker and how you speak, and knowing, that is, knowing or believing or trusting that you can take the necessary steps to what? To change that belief. Now, why is that important? Why is that important? That's critical, because when you know that, hey, if I practice XYZ each and every day, I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to get this result. Makes sense. You will be more confident, and you will have greater hope, and you'll be more motivated to continue on if you know that if I do XYZ each and every day, that eventually I'm going to get this result or these results. All right? So, the first part of this is that you have a belief about who you are as a speaker and how you speak. What do I mean by this? Well, I mean simply that many people, because of how they've spoken in the past, they believe that they're not able to speak in public, or that they don't do it well, or that they're going to mess up when they do it. Many people who stutter in certain situations believe that, in fact, they are stutterers, or that they're stutterers in those situations, right? So they have this belief. Now, once you develop a belief, what you've done is you've actually developed a memory, if you will. Literally in your brain, you've developed these connections, and these connections are memories of of certain behaviors and patterns and actions and so forth. And so now, this is a part of who you are and how you operate. what we want to do is we actually want to change that, right? We want to change those beliefs. We want to change those memories, change those patterns, change those connections, or build new ones, okay? Now, the second part of this step is to understand, to know that there are certain steps you can take, and that if you take those steps, you can change that belief, all right? So as we move throughout the program, I'm going to be giving you those steps. You can be confident, right? You can be confident and you can trust that if you practice, now watch this, this is very important. That's why this is a part of the foundation. If you practice these steps, you will start to become a smooth, confident speaker, whether it's presenting or conversing or interviewing, okay? I want to make that very clear. I'm going to give you the steps, I'm going to give you the techniques, but you have to know that if you practice them, you will eventually start to see results. Okay, so you don't have to worry about, well, am I going to get the techniques, or are the techniques going to work? Yes, they'll work, but you are going to need to practice them, and you're going to need to believe that they actually work. All right, so hopefully that's been helpful for you. It is the last session in our foundation, and so let me just review that in this particular session we talked about understanding that you do have a belief about who you are as a speaker and how you speak, but also that there are certain steps that you can take to change that belief, and that if you do those steps on a daily basis, you will eventually change that belief. Okay, so in the next session, or the next step, which is step 6, we're going to look at our first specific technique. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session. This is Michael Williams.